Well, good morning and welcome to this video. I'm wearing a shirt for the few people that consistently tell me I should wear a shirt in my videos. Actually, not for that reason, but I thought I'd make this video. I've been getting a prompt to put the experiences that I've had on video for posterity. I know I've talked about them in other videos briefly, like referring to them and things like that, but to make a more dedicated, I guess, video regarding those experiences. And those experiences are ongoing to this day, but I thought I'd start with the very first experience I had many years ago, or one of the first experiences I had before enlightenment in 1997, up until present day. And I don't know how many are going to be in this series of videos, because there's quite a number of, if I can remember them all. But my first experience was as a young boy. I was about 14 years old and seeing a ghost in the family home. And it wasn't so much seeing with these eyes, but knowing that there was somebody there. And you might say, well, seeing a ghost isn't particularly a spiritual experience. It's but it's an opening. It's what would you call it? It's an entry level experience, I suppose. But anyway, I would often wake up in my bed and I would know that there was somebody at the foot of my bed standing there, and it freaked me out. It freaked me out a lot. But I could see the image of the person in my mind's eye, but I couldn't see them with these eyes, and I could watch them as they walked around the room. And it was an older man who had a flying jacket, an old World War I or II flying jacket on, with the little hat and the goggles. The goggles were on the top. And he was trying to talk to me, and I couldn't quite get what he was saying. So anyway, I didn't think anything of it at first. I just thought, being a young fella, imagination, I'm imagining things or something. But there used to be a tingle down my spine every time I'd see him, and my whole body would vibrate like just, like somebody walks on your grave, I suppose. But I wasn't afraid of the ghost, or of the presence. Presence is probably a better word than ghost. And one day I thought, I'll tell my mum, tell my dad. And they were, I don't know, I was a pretty imaginative young fella, so they were interested, I guess, but not particularly. And it went on for quite some time, for a period of about a year. And one day the ghost did talk to me, and just in words, in single words, and I could hear the words audibly in my inner consciousness, not with my physical ears. And he said 3 words: dog, boat, Tavistock. And I went and told my mum. And she said, oh, Tavistock. She said, that's in England, it's a place in England. None of us knew what the dog and the boat was about. But anyway, we started to take it a little bit more seriously, or my parents started to take it a little bit more seriously, perhaps. And we started to pay more attention to the ghost, to what was going on there. And then one day we were at my grandmother's place on my dad's side, and this is a very long ago story, but it's hard to remember. My grandfather, I think, was still alive, perhaps. But anyway, we were telling my grandmother the story, and my grandmother was not particularly a ghost person, not particularly open-minded. I wouldn't have described her as that anyway. And anyway, we were telling the story, or I was telling the story. My mother was urging me to tell my grandmother's story because she knew people in Tavistock. And my grandmother said, when I told her about the flying gear that he was wearing, it was always the same clothes. When I told her about that, she said, it sounds like your Uncle Harry, who was lost in the war. He was a fighter pilot, and he was shot down over Germany, you know, like flying a mission to over France, flying a mission to fight the Germans, the German occupation there. And she went into the photo albums and grabbed out a big album book and opened to a photo of about 50 pilots all having a group photograph taken on an airfield before going off to fly a mission. And immediately I went, boom, that's him. I get all choked up now. And she said, that's your Uncle Harry. And I'd never seen a picture of him before. Never knew anything about him. Didn't know he was an Air Force pilot. I mean, why would I? I was just a kid, and he was 2 generations before me and lost, and no one ever mentioned him. Like I'd never heard anything about him. But I picked him out as clear as day. And that was the end of that then. That was the end. He never appeared again after that. So to this day, I actually did go to England with my girlfriend some years after that, and stayed with my aunt and uncle in Plymouth. Dave and Mon, if you're ever watching this. And we went to Tavistock, and we were looking for like a pub called the Dog and the Boat or something like that, or I don't know, we didn't know what. But that was the end of that. So story number 1. And they're just stories. I mean, they come and they go, and they don't have any more meaning than I give them. But I thought, to whatever end the stories of my own spiritual experiences might be helpful, I'll put it out there, and put them out there as a declaration of my certainty that not only that God is a fact, but there's more going on in time and space. There's a whole nother layer of things, a whole nother level of things going on here that can't be seen with the eyes of the body, but it's truly there. It's actually a thing. It's actually another level. And I'm not talking about sixth sense or anything, or maybe I am, I don't really know, but it just seems to me that there is a rhyme and a reason to everybody's journey here. And if you're open to a bigger rhyme and a bigger reason, if you keep an open mind, then perhaps you can come into contact with it. All right, peace.